stepping in as well.
Over the top. I mean, that was a full force shot to the temple. I mean, he's right now. So they wipe off his gloves, but you look at him like he's really feeling it right now. I mean, he probably has.
If you tell me that I'm not good enough or I shouldn't be at the top of my game, that's when I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow and I'm going to act on it. Like, yeah, you doubting me? All right, let me prove.
Joe Rogan and Anthony Joshua openly mocked Jake Paul for his antics inside the ring. They pointed out how he ran around with no direction, clearly trying to survive rather than actually fight. Every move Jake made triggered laughter as both broke down his lack of fundamentals and showed how badly he was outclassed by a real heavyweight like Joshua.
So nuts, right? Just the fact that he's willing to fight the two-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist, and you're going to stand in front of that guy, and he avoided shots till the 6th round. He just started getting tired.
Anthony Joshua openly critiqued Jake Paul's so-called boxing skills, exposing how little he truly understands the sport. He mocked Jake's movement, weak defense, and poor timing. Every punch and step showed that Jake was focused on staying alive, not competing. Joshua's comments highlighted the massive gap between manufactured hype and genuine heavyweight talent.
And Jake is still here standing tall, so congrats.
Eddie Hearn reflected on the early days, comparing Jake Paul to real athletes like Logan Paul. He explained that while Jake had hype, he lacked true boxing fundamentals. Unlike real fighters, Jake relied on gimmicks and wild movement. Hearn stressed that history rewards discipline and skill, qualities Jake Paul still does not possess.
Unbelievably raw back then, but he was a little bit different to the traditional YouTubers that were just flailing around. You know, the family are good athletes. Logan is a fantastic athlete. I mean, if you watch him in WWE, he's phenomenal. So yeah, it was just wild back then, and obviously the rest is history. And here we are.
Anthony Joshua explained that even when Jake Paul tried to avoid exchanges, real boxing still prevailed. Joshua viewed the fight as a chance to perform at the highest level, showing control and skill while Jake relied on movement to survive. Jake's lack of technique turned him into little more than a target for elite professionals. Joshua's composure exposed the massive gap in experience and class, revealing Jake Paul as a showman rather than a serious contender.
Industry that I'm in, because when Jake moves aside, boxing still benefits. I'm a pure boxer, so boxing still benefits. I just thought, what a great opportunity to perform in America just before Christmas. We had been training anyway. Everything was stacked up for it to happen, and I think it's a great date to happen on the 19th.
Terrence Crawford criticized the financial hype surrounding Jake Paul, pointing out that real boxers dedicate their entire lives to the sport yet earn far less. Jake profits from promotion and gimmicks while lacking a true technical foundation. Crawford's words exposed the absurd contrast between hype and real skill. He emphasized that boxing success is earned through discipline and mastery, something Jake Paul cannot replicate. Money and attention cannot replace real ring experience.
You got all these boxers that's been doing it their whole life that doesn't even make close to what they making. I think it's disrespectful to us in the game.
Mike Tyson praised Anthony Joshua's ability to control his punches and land efficiently without overcommitting. He highlighted Joshua's mastery of timing, distance, and power, which completely overwhelmed Jake Paul. Jake's attempts to dodge or survive failed against real skill. Tyson's breakdown showed how elite boxers operate, making Jake's evasive movement look ineffective against precision and power.
Throw the punches through the guy, not after hit the guy, just boom, not with the full force. So I was showing him how to throw the full force without bringing your hand way back and throwing the punch. So I showed him.
Tyson Fury reacted to Jake Paul's hospitalization after Anthony Joshua's knockout, stressing the reality of facing a world-class heavyweight. Fury suggested Jake badly overestimated himself and paid the price. The knockout was not luck, it was consequence. His reaction highlighted the danger of hype fighters stepping in with real champions, exposing Jake's lack of experience, preparation, and the huge skill gap.
Other than boxing, there's a lot of egos involved, if that makes sense. Like he said this, he said that, and I want this, I want that.
Dana White pointed out that Jake Paul was completely overmatched in both size and skill against true heavyweights. He recalled how even a clean punch from an experienced fighter exposed Jake's lack of toughness. Dana highlighted Jake's repeated mistakes in taking fights he cannot handle. Compared to Joshua's precision and power, Jake's efforts looked laughable. His comments painted Jake as unprepared, overconfident, and clearly out of his depth.
With my brother, unfixable.
I don't hate your brother. You guys need to fight guys your same size. When you fought Floyd, you are massive. He did hit you with a fucking bomb, and you fucking...
The knockout clearly revealed Jake Paul's inability to deal with real power and precision. Anthony Joshua's punch landed perfectly, exposing Jake's weak defense and slow reactions. Every evasive move failed against proper boxing technique. The jaw damage was a harsh reminder that hype cannot replace preparation. Joshua's execution made Jake's survival tactics useless and showed the massive gap between showmanship and true heavyweight ability.
Joshua broke Jake Paul's jaw in 2 places, and I'm about to show you the x-ray in a second, but firstly, let's watch the knockout. Right there, straight on the jaw, straight on the money. Even Jake Paul could not believe what happened. Jake Paul's jaw, you can see it is broken in 2 places.
Joseph Parker explained how Anthony Joshua systematically dismantled Jake Paul. Joshua's patience and calculated approach allowed him to break through Jake's defense and exploit every weakness. Jake's poor ring IQ made him predictable and easy to read. While Joshua controlled distance and timing, Jake relied on luck and movement. The fight proved Jake is not a true heavyweight competitor, as survival instincts cannot replace skill and preparation.
I told Joshua did what he had to do. It took him a while to get him, but he had to break him down and chase him down and unleash his powerful shots.
Ariel Helwani emphasized Anthony Joshua's power and reach, showing how every punch posed serious danger for Jake Paul. Jake's evasive tactics barely reduced the threat. Joshua's size, strength, and technique made the fight one-sided. Each moment revealed Jake's lack of readiness for a real heavyweight. The difference between social media fighters and real professionals was obvious, as Joshua's dominance exposed Jake as overhyped and unprepared.
And every time he threw a punch, I like winced, because he's a big man and he's an incredible boxer and he's still in his prime, and he's got a very long reach, and he's got a lot of power in that right hand, and that left hook is terrifying as well, and so I thought it could end it.
Johnny Nelson pointed out that Jake Paul's footwork was his only real weapon. While he could briefly evade early on, once Anthony Joshua adjusted, Jake's flaws were exposed. His stamina collapsed under real pressure. The analysis showed Jake relies on movement rather than technique or power. Joshua's ability to read the fight left Jake exhausted and defenseless, proving hype cannot replace experience.
He was small, he was a little faster to get out of the way, use his footwork, but there was nothing else he could use, because AJ, once he slowed down and started to gas out, you could see he's like, oh my god.
Joe Rogan mocked Jake Paul's lack of professional conditioning, showing he does not train like elite fighters. Champions like Anthony Joshua depend on structured conditioning, recovery, and monitoring. Jake's attempt to compete without that foundation exposed him as unprepared. Every punch he absorbed showed fatigue and inefficiency. The breakdown reinforced that skill means nothing without proper preparation at the highest level.
To get that world-class gas tank, you need like a Sam Calavita, you need like a Nick Curson, you need like these plyometrics experts that are got heart rate monitors on you, and they're checking when your recovery is ready and go.
Yeah.
And you're fucking yeah. You need guys monitoring your recovery, monitoring your heart rate variability, your VO2.
Eddie Hearn praised Anthony Joshua's early dominance and devastating power, exposing Jake Paul's vulnerability. Jake absorbed heavy shots with little defense, revealing poor technique under elite pressure. Hearn highlighted Joshua's status as the top heavyweight while contrasting it with Jake's amateur approach. The analysis showed that hype cannot survive real heavyweight power and precision.
4 or 5 times early in the first round, flush, didn't even flinch. You see that tonight? That was an absolute abomination, if that is even a word, because that is a monster. The #1 heavyweight in the world. He gets in the ring with a...
Jake Paul admitted the shocking power of Anthony Joshua, revealing the harsh reality he faced in the ring. This admission exposed his lack of preparation for true heavyweights. He focused more on survival than fighting, and his jaw injury confirmed that vulnerability. Joshua's punches were not just powerful but accurate, leaving no room for escape. Jake's hype collapsed against real skill and experience.
Yeah. And he hit you in the face, and not only did you not get knocked out, you dropped and said, wow. I was like, wow, that was nice. I was on the ground, I was like, that was a good shot. Dude.
Did he surprise you with his power?
No, to be honest, no, but I mean, he surprised my jaw.
Carl Froch harshly criticized Jake Paul, stating he had no place sharing the ring with a former world champion like Anthony Joshua. Despite a long layoff, Joshua's skill and ring intelligence dominated Jake completely. Froch called the matchup a joke, exposing Jake's lack of technique and understanding of boxing. His analysis showed that hype can never replace experience or real ability.
Tonight wasn't boxing. It was Anthony Joshua following him. I mean, he's been out of the ring 15 months, AJ, and Jake Paul can't fight. But there's no way On this earth, should Jake Paul have been in with a former two-time heavyweight champion? It was a joke. It was an absolute
Duke McKenzie broke down Jake Paul's inability to handle Joshua's dominance. Every attempt Jake made was shut down by superior size, power, and technique. His grappling and evasive tactics failed repeatedly, and he even fell without contact at times, showing poor balance. The fight exposed every weakness in Jake's game, proving survival tactics cannot replace real heavyweight skill.
To the floor, once or twice he fell to the floor without being hit, because Anthony Joshua was just so much bigger than him, and he couldn't cope with anything really. Couldn't cope with Anthony Joshua's jab. He couldn't cope with the size difference. He couldn't cope ultimately with the power.
Pain Game explained that Jake Paul's strategy relied almost entirely on running, holding, and avoiding damage. This exposed his lack of offense and inability to engage at heavyweight level. Joshua's dominance forced constant retreat, highlighting the gap between hype and real training. Jake's movement was purely survival, while Joshua's power and technique rendered his plan useless.
Just run, but generally, the game plan was to run a lot, hold whenever he had to. He dropped his knees for a fucking takedown there quite a lot.
The fight confirmed everything critics feared about Jake Paul facing a real heavyweight. Anthony Joshua controlled the bout from start to finish with precision, timing, and devastating power. Every attempt to escape was shut down. Joshua's calculated punches broke Jake's jaw and erased all doubt. From Joe Rogan to Carl Frock, analysts agreed this level was never realistic for Jake. Joshua reminded the world why he sits at the top of the heavyweight division. Now join the debate below and tell us, can Jake Paul ever recover from this brutal reality check?